So here's a few more examples of section 2.3 I thought might help you, because I know that some of this can get confusing. So if we look at this one, we want to join together A and B. So because of the symbol here, we're doing the intersection of A and B. So if we look at the values of A and the values of B, and we're trying to figure out what do they have in common. So if we look at that, they have the number 1 in common. They do not have the number 2 in common. They have the number 3 in common. They do not have a 4 in common, and they have a 5 in common. So the intersection of A and B would be the numbers 1, 3, and 5. Let's look at it. We're going to skip around on this just to do a few random examples. If we look at B and D, we want to see what do B and what do D have in common. B has a 1, D does not. B has 3, D has a 3. B has 5, 7, 9, and 11. So the intersection of B and D would be just the number 3. If we look at the intersection between the null set and C, well, the null set doesn't have anything in it, and C does. So if we try to figure out what do they have in common, they have nothing in common. Number 6, we have A union C, which means we want to join together A and C. We want to put them all together. So if we join them together, we're going to have 0, 1. They both have the number 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we start doing just some even numbers. 6, 8, 10, and 12. So the union of A and C would be those numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 12. They get a little bit more complicated here when you start talking about the complements. So what you really need to do is figure out what B complement is to work this out. So B complement would be all the values that are in the universal set but not in B. So that would be 0. And you'll notice that B is odd numbers, it appears. So we're going to pretty much be the even numbers. Okay, so that's B complement. So B complement union together with D would mean I'm going to join all the things in B with all the B complement, excuse me, with all the things in D, which would be the numbers 0, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. All right, let's skip down to the next page and do a few of those examples in there. Okay, so these problems get a little bit more complicated. We'll just do a couple of those. Let's look at like number 15. It's telling us to union together, do the intersection between A and C. So the intersection between A and C would be the numbers 0, this is getting confusing. Let me do something else here. Okay, so the intersection between A and C would be the number 0, sorry, said it wrong. Intersection between A and C means what do A and C have in common? So A and C would have the numbers 2, and the number 4. Those are the numbers that A and C have in common. B and D, what do those have in common? They have the numbers 3, and that's it. So then when I join those two sets together, I have the set 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so I hope these examples have helped. Again, keep in touch with me and let me know if things are going alright.